Hello, and thank you for joining us on Channel News 7.
Weather. As you can see, it's raining outside, and I'm wearing sunglasses. I don't need them. This is my friend Albert, and he likes the rain. He likes to splash in the water. He likes to swim. And you know, rain is good. It's wet and dry, and not really, it's not dry because it's raining. It's water. It's not really good, but it's still raining, and it's like the sky's perspiring. Precipitation from the clouds and hitting the puddles, it's crazy. Do you have anything to say about that? Yeah. So that's it for the weather. Always remember, tip your waitress.
Alright, thank you for coming back. It doesn't look like very good weather for the Olympics or the building of the temples. The Temple of Apollo and the Temple of Athena Nike has now begun construction. Using Ionic columns is very similar to Erechtheum, a temple atop the Acropolis. In Erechtheum, there are several sanctuaries dedicated to Athena Pallas, Poseidon, god of the sea, and the namesake Erechtheus, an early king of Athena, who was also the son of Gaia, Mother Earth. This temple was built around 415 BC, almost 100 years before present day. The Temple of Athena Nike, with Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, and Nike, the goddess of victory, is in Athens on the Acropolis. Nike is usually displayed as a small statue or figure in Athena's hands. The Temple of Apollo, dedicated to the god of the sun, will be built in Didymus, Turkey.
Okay, so a new theory explains that all planets revolve around the sun.
Yeah, well, just because Mesopotamia has the cigarettes going on does not mean... Oh, hang on. Guys, have you seen the microphone go into this?
It's a little busy.
Oh.
Anyway, a new theory explains that all planets revolve around the sun.
Yeah, well, anyway, so I just wanted to be like, Mom, I just can't believe it, because the cigarettes are just so huge, and then...
It disproves Aristotle's theory.
But, you know, there is the reason that they're so huge.
I've told you 15 times to close your mouth! I'm done!
Alright. Our correspondent Jeff Lyman has the story about the many faces of minuscule gods showing up. Let's go to his interview now.
There have been many reports lately that Hermes has been sighted walking around in disguise or flying in the sky. Also, popular sightings are seeing his face in cornfields, corn husks, corn products, double XL t-shirts, toast, name tags, shirt tags. My question is, does Hermes want more attention, or is he just acting out? Is Hermes trying to get more of Homer's poems? I'm interviewing the famous philosopher Demetrius.
In all my years of being a philosopher, I've never seen this happen so many times. When you see small gods, and you try and think of them, what you usually can't, because you're so whelmed, and you always think of the bigger gods, the gods who are in the major cities like Athens and Sparta. But when you think about the small gods, and how they feel about being never worshipped or anything. There are temples everywhere for them, where you can give them the fats and the bones. They don't get the same ideals as the other gods do. It's a sibling rivalry, really. I mean, you can see, you don't see Athena in blades of grass, crop fields, and toast. No, you see the small gods, like Hermes, Aphrodite. You see all these gods there.
Have you seen this type of behavior by gods before?
Oh, all the time. I know that last year, actually, the goddess Artemis was seen everywhere on the moon, and that's where everyone started thinking, yes, she is the moon goddess. But then, think about this. When she doesn't have any temples, I think she has one, honestly. She doesn't have a lot of people who love her as they do Athens, you know.
Is there any way to cure this behavior?
Well, The only thing I can think about is just not to worship them. Not the small gods, the bigger gods. I mean, they need equal worship and everything, but, I mean, giving so much attention to one god and not the others, well, that just seems a little rash. I think that they should have more temples or larger offerings.
What other gods act like this?
Well, a lot of the small gods. I mean, you have a handful of big ones, but I mean the other ones are just not there. We got Athena, Poseidon, Apollo. You have those, and then you have the small ones that no one knows, and they're usually the ones who act out. Maybe not for attention. Well, actually, yes, for attention. They want to be worshipped more. Is pretty much where I'm getting at.
What are your final thoughts on this issue?
Well, if we want this to stop, and I'm sure people want to stop seeing faces staring them down while they're eating their cereal in the morning, I think that we should just worship all the gods equally, or have one god. And I know that as a philosopher, I'm supposed to think of science more than the gods. As a philosopher, I'm supposed to know what we're made of, and thinking, maybe it isn't the gods who made everything. Maybe Poseidon isn't the one who makes the waves. Maybe Apollo isn't the reason why the sun comes up. But I do believe the gods are there, and that is where I'm going to leave it.
The Olympics have begun today. The athletic contest held for every 4 years is once again present near Delphi, Greece. Our senior correspondent, Frankie, is getting as close as a woman can possibly get to the action.
As we start counting down the days in preparation for the 11th Olympiad, various athletes are on their game. Just released this morning, the events will consist of boxing, equestrian events, chariot racing, discus, javelin, jumping, running, and wrestling. The main threats of this year are Sparta and Athens. Separate divisions will be held for any born Greek man or boy. Women cannot compete this year, but can enter as an owner of a horse in an equestrian event, or as the captain of a chariot team. Cheating in this year's events is not tolerated. Any man found guilty of such actions will be charged with a fine, which will help restore the statue of Zeus. So I got the underground scoop recently that a couple trainees from Sparta are over here training for the Olympics. I'm going to go get the inside. No! That was not easy.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and stay tuned for this season's premiere of
Sparta!
Knitting.
Caller.
Come here, Dad.
Come here. Give me.
The wildebeest.
That all these Chinese guys are afraid of. Come here, wildebeest. Talking in the microphone. Oh, don't sit on my foot. We have to ask you a question. You're gonna waste all the time